I know a lot of people were wondering. They were waiting all week. Would the High Noon Hemp Show be brought back? Would it be renewed for a fifth season? Well, it was hit and miss for a while. It was touch and go, as they say. But the higher ups finally gave us our coveted fifth season. Welcome, everybody. The Temptations Beach Facebook page. It's Wednesday. It's noon. I am Joe Clare. He is Beach at Hemp Quarters in Sharonville. Welcome, everybody, to the Season 5 premiere. Beach, how are things in Temptations land on this auspicious
Glorious.
day?
I would say glorious. Welcome everyone to the High Noon Hemp Show. What an intro! What a show! What a show! Anyway, at the High Noon Hemp Show, I sit at the quarters high above the Sharonville store. It's a big week for us because we are celebrating our 24th hempiversary. I'm gonna make up new words because you know that's what I like to do. And so this coming Sunday, September 1st. We will have been in business for 24 years. And I have not done a math. I'm going to grab the calculator right now. I'm going to say that times that equals, that's roughly 8,760 days.
It's a lot of hemp.
We were probably close 2 to 3 days a year out of all that. So minus 40, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of hemp. It's a lot of hemp. It's a lot of days to offer hemp to the public. It's so amazing to think that it's almost a quarter of a century that we began this journey. And then I sit here and do this
when you
show.
say it like that.
When you say it like that.
Seems like a long, long time.
It's a long time. Again, to me, it just seems like it was yesterday. I mean, I picture the original store, and the original store, for the history buffs out there, was actually in the back room of a tie-dye shop down in Mount Lookout. And we were only there about 9 months, took over the whole spot. She moved out into a bigger spot. We took over the whole space and kind of ran out of space. The landlord was acting kind of weird. And so we moved up to O'Brienville, which is where we are currently located still at 2034 Madison Road. So that store has some stories to tell. There are no doubt about that. Like they say, if the walls could talk over the years, from the star athletes to the star musicians, to just educating, to the interesting conversations about educating people on industrial hemp. Just amazing, honestly, to think, how far we've come and how far hemp has come. In 24 years when we started, I had no foreseeable idea as to when hemp would be accepted in the agricultural state in the United States again. Yeah. Everything was imported, whether it was in its raw material and made here or just made in some other country, grown in some other country. But again, had no idea. And then all of a sudden, exponentially, 5 years ago or so, everything just kind of a perfect storm. The federal government finally said, yes, let's define what industrial hemp is from its subspecies that they call marijuana, by a THC content, mostly. It really should be decided as the end product, not the THC content. But we got there. The 2015 Agricultural Act, or 2014. The 2018 is the one that made it the big, the Agricultural Improvement Act. Every state but 3 states, I think, Ohio, finally with SB 57, we can grow industrial hemp in Ohio. And so as we celebrate our 25th year next year, actually a quarter of a century, we can only hope that we'll be celebrating a field day of our own hemp grown in Ohio a year from now. And so I look forward to trying to make that happen. No, there is no try. There is do or do not. So we will be growing hemp next year. unless there are some unforeseeable circumstances. But I am already trying to organize some property. I need to, I'm going to put my feelers out for those people that I know have some land that we can grow on, and see what happens there. But there will be hemp growing in Ohio next year, finally. And again, it's just, I do sit here quite humbled fact that this has happened in the United States. As an industrial hemp, and I support cannabis for everything. I believe that cannabis should be used for all of its purposes, none withheld. But I have always been the hemp advocate, and the hemp advocate is rarely listened to. Usually taken a lot, even it's hard to believe we're taken less serious than legalization crowd, to be honest with you, because once people understand and know what industrial hemp is. But it's almost because it's like people are like, I can't believe that it's not legal, blah blah blah, back in the day. And so I think that, again, our goal was always to show the public. As a I don't know, a capitalist or a consumer or a shopper or whatever, have always known that in our real world, convincing someone to change may convince them that it is a economic opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I don't want the world to be that way. But in large circles of the world, unless you prove that you have valid economic validity, they don't take you seriously. And I think we're finally, fortunately, coming to a point where those people are seeing the money that can be made. Again, I'm talking about the industrial hemp aspect of it. Of course, that's being driven by the CBD, which is something none of us saw happening 24 years ago. If you tell me there was somebody out there talking about CBD 24 years ago, then it was an isolated doctor that no one was listening to yet, because again, it was the doctors that really started bringing the CBD stuff to light as well, in other countries and whatnot. We've been selling CBD for a long time. I added CBD to my speech probably 15 years ago. Because that's when other people were talking about it, and there was some research being done across the world. But to have even foreseen the CBD industry driving the industrial hemp industry the way that it is almost as shocking as industrial hemp becoming legal in this country again, to be honest with you. We always wanted to do it for the fiber mostly, which is the last reason, then the grain for the food products and whatnot. And so, and there's a lot of grain being grown, a lot of people growing for the grain, as well as the flour, and then a little bit of fiber. And, every year we hope there's more and more, and a lot more United States grown, hemp fiber, all that. And we're there. We're just moving forward. Everybody's moving forward. Finally, I can say we're there, because in Ohio, we're there. A month ago, I couldn't say we were there because we weren't there in Ohio yet, but we're there. And so as we celebrate 24 years, store-wide sale, just so everybody knows, from August 30th to Labor Day, everything for 20% off or higher, depending on some goods. Just officially, and hopefully we'll have some giveaways for some of the first customers to come in and whatnot throughout the weekend, if we can, celebrating 24 years. Again, we couldn't do it without the customers. I couldn't do it without my employees. I couldn't. It's just been an amazing journey. It's not going to stop. Hemptations will continue to be Hemptations for as long as Hemptations can be Hemptations. There will never be enough hemp to satisfy me to be in the stores anyway. And so, we have our own line of Hemptation CBD now, and I feel very good about that, providing a quality product that we can put our name on. And so thanks everyone over the years, regardless of whether you just came on board with Temptations or you've been around for a while. It has been amazing, and here's to another 24 years.
Absolutely.
That's all I can say
Some
there.
congratulations in the comment section from Kay, saying congratulations on the anniversary. Also,
thank you,
Amy.
Jay. Thank you. And I do want to
many times running in Norwood. If you're in Ward 4 in Norwood, make sure you check that out.
That's right.
It says on here, it's weird. They have labels now. This says Amy's a anniversary follower. I don't know if that's a 3 in the little thing
great.
or not. I don't know what that means. And
thanks,
Amanda
Amy.
Swenson
Whatever
is
that
now
means.
a top fan number 1, or a top fan +1.
Yes, she has
Weird
been there. Amanda has been there for a while. I know she watches. They watch the show in the office where they are out west somewhere. And so thank you on that. And thanks everyone for being there. I just started a watch party. I don't know what that means. John, my man, he holds it down in his part of the world as well. I do want to show this picture real quick before I end my 24th anniversary. This picture was drawn by a customer, and we ended up using it kind of as our I don't know, not a logo, but on stuff. I look at this and I call this hippie beach. And again, for those of you that know me, I never really consider myself to ever be in the hippie category. But my original partner, Amy, just sent this to me this week. I had totally forgotten about this. And I know that I have it on something somewhere. I sure hope that I do. But again, this was done over 20 years ago. This picture was drawn and brought in. And I think we might have even paid the guy a little bit for it just to officially buy it, to make it ours. At one point or another. And again, I know as we put it on, I have a t-shirt. I have to have a t-shirt somewhere with that on there, I believe. And we put it on some other stuff. And so there's an old throwback.
It was a good
the old fanny pack. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I have a fanny pack and a backpack on, if you don't notice. And there was probably a time where I did wear, in fact, a backpack and a fanny pack. I don't know if I was really into the fanny pack thing, but it was a big deal back in that day. That's for sure. And I think it's coming back, by the way. Don't think it's not coming back. Yep. I will sit here on my hemp chair and predict. And I'm already, we're already seeing the return of the fanny pack. We can thank The Rock for that.
That's right.
But anyway,
I think Joe Rogan's been on it too. He really,
well, again,
fanny pack.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you mentioned that because I actually have a Joe Rogan hemp fanny pack. It is it's a mixed martial arts. They make gis and bags. The company called Datsura, and I know I pronounce that wrong every time. But if you go online, they have a full line of hemp bags. I carry their backpack every day. I think I have shown that picture before. I may focus on that bag again, but it's sitting right across from me right now. But they also came out with this limited edition Joe Rogan fanny pack. And I will have to say that I do have that in my collection of goods. And so,
and
every once in a while we travel.
He still rocks the fanny pack. So there you go.
Yeah, and when we travel, and normally, in all honesty, I usually throw it over my shoulder. I don't normally wear it around the fanny, so to speak, because when you think about it, it should be in the back. And I don't trust anything behind me as much. And so, anyway, that's it. That's classic. And again, coming back, I could probably break out that same outfit.
That's right.
If I find those, what we called the Jesus sandals back in the day, big old thick hemp. I mean, like an inch thick hemp cord. The cord wasn't an inch thick, but the soles were like an inch thick of this braided cord. but again, we sold a lot of those too. They were actually comfortable and would last. And so
Yeah.
good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's move on to the old product spotlight part of the show. I'm done reveling about the 24 years of being in business. I might bring it up again. It's hard to say.
Get to the stores. Hemptations.com
But
for locations.
Hemptations.com, big sale, all this stuff that you're going to see on the product spotlight, the 4 from the store, that is, not the one from my door, are available at the stores. And hopefully online soon once these banking issues get worked out. I'm hoping to get our retail spot up and going again and get this stuff back online. The first one is this No Bad Ideas. These guys are semi-new to the hemp game, this hat. But I love the stuff that they do. They've put a little secret pocket in the hat, which is a nice accessory for any hat. And so, again, these guys are pretty close. I think they're over in Indiana even. And usually release 3 to 4 hemp hats a year with their collection of other hats that they do. Again, there should be one of those in every store as well as some others. The next one is the Hydrate, which is it's becoming one of the new, more popular drinks, I think. Because not only does it have CBD in it, and this is the Georgia Peach. So if you like peaches, Georgia's supposed to be famous for them. This is the Georgia Peach flavor of the Hydrate. Not only does this have CBD, but it actually has a little bit of caffeine in it. So if you're kind of looking for a little energy boost with your CBD, get on in and try some of the Hydrate. I think I've tried the strawberry, and it was okay. Again, it wasn't too flavored, which I like. I don't want things to be too flavored. That scares me sometimes. The next one is the dime bag backpacks. And the reason I did this is because we're getting, close to the old back to school. A lot of kids have gone back to no reason not to go back to school with a hemp backpack. They carry books as good as anything, as well as all the other things that you may need in your back to school experience. And again, we do see
pack. You got to fall back on the backpack.
That's right. That's right. You're gonna have to need that. I don't know if your books will fit in your fanny pack. So actually, they probably would these days, because all you really need is probably some electronic device. I don't know if you even need books anymore. Hopefully not. But anyway, we do see a little increase in backpacks and bags, laptop bags, and things like that this time of year with school, because kids do like to take the old hemp back to school with them. That is for sure. And with the fall weather coming up, I thought I'd focus a little bit on this little piece of hemp clothing. And again, I think the largest selection of this particular hoodie is in the Sharonville store, and they may be smattered around. But this is the Hoodlam High. It's actually Hoodlam High. I knew I was going to mess that up. Zip up hoodie. And again, if you guys know me, when it comes to cooler weather or winter, I wear Hoodlam a lot, because they are a great source for fall weather hoodies, winter jackets, all of that stuff. And so I noticed that the large was not here, and so I may have to find the large before someone else does, because I really wanted one of these, and I haven't got one yet. So enjoy the sale with this one. I know the Hoodlam stuff, is a little expensive, but I know that we will probably have the Hoodlam stuff also marked down a little bit more for the holiday sale, so we can get you what you need in hemp for the winter as well. And so there you go, for the store. Now, the one from my door is actually a personalized piece of art. My Mary made this. This hangs in the house in the hallway. And so she is very artistic, and a lot more artistic than I am, that's for sure, and hand painted this on a piece of hemp. Put a couple of hooks so it can be hung. And so that's just one of the pieces of art that I have in my hemp art collection. I should say that's kind of around, and some of it's kind of the store. So I need to get down and take a picture of the. And I might have done that. I don't know. A picture of the art in the O'Brienville store, which I've had forever, which is just awesome. So anyway, for the product spotlight, 4 from the store, 1 from my door. There you have it. Again, all of those products are available or should be available in one, if not all of the stores. If you don't see them there, then let your local employee know that you would like to see that there, that you would like to purchase it there. And we will do our best to get it there so that you can do that. Because all in all, that is what we do.
Lee, checking in the chat room as well. Congratulations on the
my
24
man Lee.
years.
Thank you. You've been there for a lot of those years. Been there for a lot of those years, building all kinds of stuff for the stores and making them better. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And now,
a lot of people watching for what most people probably wait for. They probably wait the entire show, and Beach is talking about hemp and CBD. And like, yes, Beach, that's all great. The products from the store, yes, I'll get down to the stores as soon as I can. But what I'm really here for is the Beachwear segment, where Beach teaches you how you can be a hemp dresser or a hemp dressee as he is. And we ask the most important question of the day: what are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. If you were wondering just how I was celebrating 24 years, this is it. So if you're wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? Here you have it. It's actually just a very common looking outfit. Nothing special at all, actually. Got my my Yupong Flex Fit hat. Good old Young Maven Hemptations University tee. I wear the old Hemptations University tees a lot. It's just one color and one style. My Prana shorts, as you can see, as always, with the hemp pen just barely sticking out of my pocket. I also have on a Hempies belt. As I've lost just a little bit of weight, so I find myself having to wear a belt every once in a while. So I've got the Hempies belt on, the head case boxers, classic head case boxers, as well as some Satori leaf no-shows, so to speak, and then bringing it home with probably one of my oldest pairs. I think my black and white shell toes are my oldest pairs, but I think these green shell toes are possibly my oldest pair of Adidas shell toes. They could be 20 years old. It's very possible. So taking it back as far as I can with a little bit of stuff and a little new stuff out there with the "What are you wearing, Beach?" part of the show. Now you know. It's true.
You're well informed. The type of things you'll need if you're putting together your beach Halloween costume. Good ideas, all good ideas there. Get to
all good ideas. That's right. A hat, some type of shorts, or possibly jeans. Usually, I wear jeans, hemp jeans. Find yourself a pair of Kentucky Hemp Outfitters, and then you will really be replicating, because I wear those a lot.
there you go.
But that's for another day. Trust me, I'll be busting them out soon. You will see me in a pair of those relatively soon, as the cool weather will sometime be approaching. It's not here yet.
Eventually.
Got quite a bit of news. It does always come back. It's a revolving thing. Some semi amount of news going on in the hemp world out there, I suppose. Some good, some bad. This first picture that we have, actually, this is a magnet that a young gentleman dropped off. I call him young gentleman. I don't know if he's young, old, or what. But this is Kentucky grown hemp with the hemp tucky on it. He's just starting out with some of these products. He actually used to work for Sunstrand, which is a great company making things from all natural, renewable resources, including the hemp mug that you guys see me drink out of almost every episode. He's kind of started his own business. You can go to hempventures.org and see the little bit of products that he has out there. It's kind of fun. I think the funnest product, albeit a little expensive, he's got hemp plastic golf tees. And so I just recently have started golfing again. And so I know that I'm going to have to get myself at least one set of hemp golf tees, and some other things. So support what he's doing. Again, that's I'm positive that he's using all homegrown, so to speak, Kentucky grown hemp for the products that he's retailing right now. When he gets his if he gets his wholesale set up, we'll have some of his products in the stores as well. And so, that was I thank him for dropping that off. That's the second thing in my collection that says Hemp Tucky on it. So that's awesome. This is big, obviously, for the farmers, because the USDA has officially announced that hemp farmers can obtain insurance as part of the Whole Farm Revenue Protection Program. And that includes fiber, flour, or seeds. So if you're a farmer out there and you're interested in getting insurance, now that you can check out the Whole Farm Revenue Protection Program that the USDA offers, and get insured in case things happen in the natural world. This year it was, I believe, too much rain in the fall. The spring, which was longer than normal, did wreak some havoc on the agricultural world, and that's why and farmers have insurance, is because you can do everything you can to try to do everything you can, but nature does not have to play along.
That's right.
Does not have to play along, and so it's good again. And really, this second bit of news, I should have led with this, because this just reiterates why industrial hemp is insurable now. But the Justice Department just announced the expansion, and this is interesting, the expansion of their marijuana research program. Yep. About that in a second. how that's interesting, ironic. But in the announcement, in the same announcements where they told us this, they finally clarify, and I quote from the Justice Department: hemp, including hemp plants and cannabidiol, CBD, preparations at or below the 0.3% Delta 9 THC threshold is not a controlled substance. Okay, this was the Justice Department that announced this, folks. Okay, so I want the banks to listen up. I want the advertising. I want the TV channels and the radio channels and anybody out there that's prohibiting someone from legitimately using the term CBD or selling CBD or any of those things, keeping us from getting credit cards with CBD. On an ironic twist, just an hour before the show, I was approached by Square as a part of their new CBD beta program, and so I'm going to call him when I get off. But that is a whole nother thing. That statement, that quote from the Department of Justice, clarifying industrial hemp not on the controlled substance list, should be listened to again by anyone that's out there that is failing to understand the difference between industrial hemp and marijuana. Period. No matter what it is. Pair of jeans, CBD, marijuana with THC, marijuana. And I go like this because if you don't know, marijuana was a term the government made up so that no one knew they were talking about cannabis or hemp in 1937. And so I hate the fact that we're now actually kind of legitimizing the term marijuana. As it becomes legal, it becomes legal as marijuana. When I wish they would just legalize it as cannabis and be done with it. Because again, marijuana is not even a scientific term, and I feel like somehow there's probably some anti-marijuana loopholes that people are going to be like, it's not, man, it's cannabis. You can't say it's legal because you didn't legalize cannabis. I know in the federal government it's cannabis sativa L period. That's the definition of what hemp is, cannabis sativa L period, with less than 0.3% THC. Because that is where you get all hemp byproducts come from cannabis sativa. No hemp byproducts come from cannabis indica, is what I'm saying, if you know the difference. And then there's also cannabis ruderalis, which is a much rarer form that doesn't have too many benefits that we've found yet, because we don't hold that one in very high regard. But cannabis sativa and cannabis indica do, in fact, satisfy us quite well, just between the two,
So far,
with all the
doing well.
products and all the other things that they can do. So once again, everybody, listen up. That's the top law right there. That is the Justice Department speaks. The Attorney General speaks for the Justice Department. Blah blah, all that stuff. And so that's the top cops telling you, if it's 0.3% or less, if it's hemp, it is not a controlled substance. And so it's just fair. It's just fair for everything. It should be fair for everything. We are seeing in Hawaii, so a lot of their industrial hemp is popping up a little high on the THC, and so they're having to destroy some crops. And I think they let a couple. I read that just tested just a little bit above the 0.3. They're still going to let them go through, which is great, honestly, because again, it shouldn't affect the end product as much. Although, if they're growing for CBD, that may be a little controversial there. But they did destroy some higher THC, and I have a couple theories on this. One, it could be the soil. I don't know, somehow boosting what was supposed to start out as a 0.3 or less percent CBD. It could also be, this could be our first real wafting germination issue. So if you don't know, hemp cannabis has a male and a female. Female produces the seeds and the flowers. The male produces the germination, the pollen. And so that pollen gets in the air, and it can go for miles. If it wants to travel and needs to travel, it can go for miles, much like any other airborne pollen, because that's what happens. It's supposed to catch in the air, it's supposed to move itself over to the female plant, gets into the female plant's flowers, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of seeds. Those seeds drop, they sit through the winter, and then they come up in the spring, and that's how this great plant has been going on and on for roughly 2.8 million years. That's the history. And so I would propose that Hawaii, being a very kind of closed environment and always wind blowing, it's on the ocean, so there is probably a breeze in Hawaii a lot of the time. And so I do think that that's kind of the perfect elements to have cross-pollination. And we've been talking about this. The worst thing is I'm curious if the THC growing, the outdoor growing of THC plants in Hawaii has been degraded. That's the real test, because we've always said if you planted your THC plants in the middle of your low 0.3% or less THC plants, that the pollination from the hemp would degrade that high THC or THC plant. This is kind of the reverse, where the high THC plant is possibly bringing in its pollen and it's germinating, possibly. I don't know. Again, I think that would actually be in the babies too, and so I don't know how that would work. So I don't know. They've somehow it's an issue in Hawaii, and it could just be that they just weren't really verifying that the seeds they were getting were industrial hemp. Because now that I think about the cross-pollination, that would be the seeds and the plants to follow. So I don't know. I guess it would depend on where those seeds came from that they planted. Now that I think about the science on that, but nonetheless, it's happening. And again, I could, it is a known fact in the agricultural world that volcanic ash, is a positive on a lot of agricultural crops, tobacco for one, um, and a lot of plants thrive with volcanic ash soil, and so that could maybe that boosted it up a little bit. I don't know, and so it's kind of an interesting thing that we're going to be seeing more and more. And again, that's why we need to have less restrictions on the actual THC level and look at the end product to see whether it matters, whether it has the high THC or not. And so, that is the struggle of the industrial hemp farmer right now. This last piece of news that I have, somehow this guy is making himself aware. And I want to make everyone knows that the Hemp Earth hemp plane is a freaking scam. And if I wasn't doing the show right now, I would not have been so pleasant with my words, because this guy is a scam artist. And it's kind of funny how his scam makes the circles. It's now making the circles about every 2 years or so, I would guess. Or all of a sudden, I see more posts about this Hemp Earth hemp plane from news people or whatever. Never existed. It's not gonna exist. I can tell you this: until I see a set of plans, like I want to see some legitimate schematics for this thing. Not just a hemp leaf superimposed on the back of a plane that already exists. All right, that should be your first clue that this stupid plane doesn't exist, because it doesn't even have a real I mean, again, it's always like, yeah, this is, when it happens, blah blah blah. It's not happening. The guy's a scam artist. The worst thing about it is, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to be liable for any stupidity. But the worst thing is, the rumor is that not as he's trying to scam people out of money for this thing that he's never going to actually do with GoFundMe. And I think he got kicked off of one of the other ones or whatever. But again, he started one of those GoFundMe pages to get people to invest in this, or it's been around for a while. And again, no real plans of doing it. But I also believe, and I've heard from multiple people, that he scams people out of money for cannabis, and that he gets them to order cannabis online from him. He's in South America or something, and either never sends it or is swag or whatever. And so, all in all, this guy just, he is a bad seed, promoting a great idea. Would I love to see an entire hemp plane? And let me tell you, and as we are still celebrating the life of Mark Linday in Green Spring Technology, the joke is there's a picture out there of a plane that Mark printed, 3D printed. It's just a little plane that's the first hemp plane that's actually been made, and it's because of this jackhole that's continuing, I think, to tell you this. He's not cleaning the world by saying, no, we're not building the hemp plane, or yes, I would rather take serious investors and get serious investors to do this, possibly. But instead, he starts these GoFundMe pages and he takes little bits of money from people with zero intention of building this hemp plane out of hemp and then running it supposedly on hemp. And both are fabulous ideas. Would love to see it in reality. But this guy's not going to do it. Let's all start our own investment for a hemp plane, and see if we see Josie's even in on it. See how upset she's gotten on the fact that
by the way, don't buy cannabis from some dude online ever.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how he was getting away with that. And this was, some people telling me supposedly, and again, I'm not trying to start any rumors, but I do know this. I would love to be proven wrong that this guy's a scam artist, and that the hemp plane actually has like plans. Like, he paid someone to actually make plans to sit down and build the thing one way or another. And so Anyway, don't believe it. Don't believe it until you see this thing actually taxiing down the runway and taking off. Do not believe one word of this hemp plane that's going to run on hemp fuel. Do not go fund me. Don't give them any money. Because this guy's been I don't know. I might have to go back and see how one of the earliest articles ever about this guy doing this thing, but I would venture to say it could be 10 years ago that this guy's been talking about. I know it's been 5, 6 anyway, and so don't buy it. Let's start a real investment company with true investors to build a hemp plane to fly hemp people around. Anyway, don't. It's, fake news. That is the very definition of fake news. Can't believe that I have to say that fake news is real, but fake news is real, and that is fake news. And every once in a while, and again, these little articles I posted recently, which I think is interesting, are again just within the last month. Different little sources supposedly posting this idea, and I hadn't seen anything for a couple years. And I used to be friends with the guy on Facebook and kind of follow him, but I never posted, I never responded, I just wanted to keep track of him. I think is what a lot of us were trying to do, is just keep track of him, because we wanted to make sure people weren't getting scammed out, any more than they had to be by this guy. And so, I think that's where I would advise people is, yeah, man, follow the dude, become friends with him, talk to him about his hemp plane. Don't give him any money. See how serious he really is. Don't give him any money. But, again, if he's really doing what he's doing, then there's no reason. But look into it. Buyer beware when it comes to that one. That's for sure. All right, we'll get through blah blah blah. See what I can't start thinking about it, and then I get tongue tied. I can't move forward. I need a drink of some CBD seltzer from our friends at Queen City Seltzer, Queen City Infusion. It's good.
There you go. Hemptations.com. 4 locations, as always. Go find them.
It's like they were paying me for that, but they weren't. I just went back to the old radio days. Refreshing. Queen City Infusion Seltzer. It really is, though. I love that stuff. All right, let's move on to events, and then everybody can move on to their lovely Wednesday. August 30th, 2 days, we do have the Virginia Tech Industrial Hemp Field Day. Blacksburg, Virginia. Obviously, that has something to do with Virginia Tech and them growing some industrial hemp. Again, we have a lot of field days popping up here. The big one is the September 6th through 7th, which is the second annual Southern Hemp Expo in Franklin, Tennessee. And so if you're anywhere in the Midwest and you want to see everything that's going on with industrial hemp, I would definitely recommend. This is, I believe, the second year in a row. It's the second annual one where we are actually out of town. And so, unfortunately, because if we weren't, I would go down for this. This is put on again by the NOCO people, and they are great hemp events in every aspect, from the panels to the products that people are there offering, to everything. It's all there. Again, that is the second annual Southern Hemp Expo, Franklin, Tennessee. And again, you can go to hemptations.com, and all the events that I talk about on the show should be on the second page of the website. The first page has all the events we're involved in. We have a CBD page where you can go and learn about our CBD product and some other things as well. And so check out more at hemptations.com. And then this one I just added, so I'll get the information a little bit so you can check this out. But September 7th and 8th, there is an essential hempcrete building workshop in Asheville. And so working with hempcrete is everybody wants to get in on this, it seems like. And so if you're anywhere near the Asheville area, North Carolina. Check out again September 7th, 8th, the Essential Hempcrete Building Workshop. September 7th, we also have Katie Moyer speaking at the Greater Philadelphia Expo in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Katie is a long-time, 5 years now, United States grower of industrial hemp, as well as a manufacturer of hemp products. And so she is probably one of the most knowledgeable people in the whole United States when it comes to all of the aspects, other than basically the retail end of it. And so if you're in around in Pennsylvania, it's at the Greater Philadelphia Expo, September 7th. September 14th, we have the Holistic Hemp Festival down in I should say from here, Wharton, West Virginia. And so there, West Virginia is doing quite a bit of hemp these days. They're trying to get caught up like everybody else. So if you're in the West Virginia, Wharton area, check out the Holistic Hemp Festival, September 14th. And then September 28th, it's the big Ohio event. You're going to want to be a part of this. You're going to want to go. You're going to want to see what's going on with SB 57 passing. But that's the Hemp Farm Summit in Pickaway County, at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds, I should say, in Circleville, Ohio. And so if you are in or around Ohio, pretty close to the Pennsylvania end, and actually not too far from the Indiana side. Circleville is kind of like right in the middle of Ohio, so it's not too far from the bordering states, all in all. So if you're interested, but really this is, I think, going to be a huge event for anyone that's interested in growing industrial hemp in Ohio, anyone that's going to manufacture industrial hemp in Ohio, anyone that's going to retail industrial hemp in Ohio. I think there'll be a lot of education and a lot of opportunities to make contacts in Ohio. And so, again, that's September 28th, the Hemp Farm Summit at Pickaway County Fairgrounds, Circleville, Ohio. Also home to some beaches, and so go up and hang out with them. So that gets us through September. I am going to be on the beach next week. So I don't know. I'm still planning, I think, on a show. I'm going to do my best to sit down. It may be an internet issue. It may not. But I can tell you this. I will be broadcasting something at high noon next Wednesday, if it's not just something saying the beach has taken me and I cannot respond this week. But it's great to be in the 5th season. We almost had the right timing where we could have taken a break between the add a little drama to see whether we were going to get re-signed or not to the network. But
can't tease people like that.
Didn't quite line up that way. We don't want to tease people. So again, if we're not here next week, I will try to come. I may be in my hemp bathing suit. I do have a couple different beach wear, actual beach wear. Some of it's a lot of hemp with the island hemp wear, and some of the newer stuff is just like a little bit of hemp. They put like 5 or 10% of hemp in there, but they're using a little bit of hemp. A little bit of hemp is better than zero hemp.
Absolutely.
And so it's serving its purpose as what it is, and we love it. So it might just be a picture or me standing on the beach in that, in those shorts.
That'll bring in the viewers.
But thanks everybody, as always. Thank you for watching live at the Facebook Beach page. Continue to follow us here and all those things that we do at Hemptations Beach. You can also follow the Jedi Hemp channel on YouTube. And soon, we may be a podcast, no video, just audio, available throughout the internet on some internet means. And so we'll see, and we're probably going to make that happen real soon, so we can officially call ourselves a podcast as well, because we're confused as to what to call ourselves now. We're a hempcast. That's what we are. We're
Best
a hempcast.
thing on the internet is what we are.
Best darn thing on the internet.
That's what I've heard.
The High Noon Hemp Show Hempcast.
That's what the kids are saying.
And I want to thank all of you for being a part of the Hempcast, one way or another. As always, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations for 24 years.
That's right. Big sale coming up. See you all next week, maybe. If not, we'll see you after that. We'll be back. Have no fear.
We will be back. Have no fear.